Up to now in this series, we've talked about pests, plant protection principles, and smart pest management strategies. Today, we are getting hands on. I am Josh from Sprout of Philippines and Yabong Pilipinas, here for Omaha Gardener, your host for this brand new series, Garden Defense 101. In this episode, we will talk about specific physical and cultural control methods to protect your garden. No guessing, no complicated products, just practical steps that actually work. Let us first ask, what does hands-on really mean? Hands-on garden protection means using your actions to prevent or reduce problems. Instead of spraying something, you change the environment or physically stop the pest. You make your garden a harder place for pests to live. Physical control means physically stopping pests from reaching your plants. This is often the first and safest option. Examples of this include hand picking insects, using row covers, installing fences, using traps or barriers. If you can block the insect, the pest, or remove it or keep it out, that is physical control. Cultural control, on the other hand, focuses on how you grow plants. It is about creating the condition where pests struggle to survive. This could be the good gardening habits that prevent pest problems. In Omaha and across Nebraska, these methods work especially well. Row covers to keep insects off vegetables, fencing to stop rabbits and deer, collars around seedlings to prevent cutworms, netting to protect fruit from birds, and sticky traps for monitoring pests. These controls work best when used early. Now, let's talk about more specific ways to protect your garden. First, we have quarantine. Quarantine means keeping new plants separate before adding them to your garden. This helps prevent insects, diseases, and hidden pests. Do not let new plants mingle until you know they are healthy. That is the key principle. In the US, it is especially important with plants from garden centers or online orders or even plant swaps. Keeping new plants isolated for a week or two can prevent big problems later. The next one is using deterrents like scarecrows. Deterrents are meant to discourage pests, not physically stop them. This includes scarecrow, reflective tape, and noisemakers. Deterrents try to scare pests away. In US gardens, these can help with birds, deer, and occasionally rabbits. But deterrents work best when they are moved regularly and changed often. Otherwise, other animals can figure them out. Third are screen houses. A screen house is a structure covered with fine mesh to keep insects out. It is like a bug-proof room for plants. Screen houses are used in high-value vegetable gardens, small farms, and even in warm regions. They are especially effective against flying insects like moths and aphids. The next one is artificial light. Artificial light at night can attract nocturnal insects, which can include moths, beetles, and some flies. Lights at night act like bug magnets. In home gardens, placing bright lights near plants can increase insect activity. So, using motion lights, warm colored bulbs, or turning lights off when not needed can reduce pest pressure. The next are physical barriers, including netting or even wrapping fruits. Physical barriers block pests from reaching plants or fruits. Examples include netting over berries, wrapping the fruit on trees, and even floating row covers. If pests cannot reach it, and then they cannot eat it. This method is widely used across gardens and is very effective when installed early. The next one are rat guards. Rat guards are used especially in orchards and urban areas. Rat guards are metal or plastic collars placed around tree trunks. They prevent rats, squirrels, and raccoons from climbing trees. They are most useful for fruit trees, urban gardens, and areas with rodent pressure. The next one is trapping. Trapping is exactly what it sounds like, using traps to capture pests. This can include sticky traps for insects, pheromone traps, rodent traps. So these different traps can help you catch pests instead of spraying everything. Traps are best used for monitoring pest activity and reducing small populations. They work best when combined with other control methods and not as a standalone solution. The next one is sanitation. Sanitation means keeping the garden clean. This includes removing dead plants, picking up fallen fruit, cleaning your tools, and even clearing weeds and debris. You know, many pests in the US survive the winter in plant debris. So good sanitation breaks their life cycle. The next one is proper spacing of crops. Proper spacing means not crowding your plants because crowded plants stay wet longer, it will have poor airflow, and it can stress easily. Plants need personal space as well. So, when you are spacing your plants, it can reduce disease pressure, insect outbreaks, and competition for nutrients as well. So, following seed packet spacing is one of the easiest preventive steps that you can take. These methods prevent problems before they start. They reduce the need for chemicals. They protect beneficial insects, and they are safe for people and pests. Prevention beats reaction. In Nebraska's changing weather, strong, healthy plants handle stress much better. Here are a few things to watch out for. First, waiting too long to act. Small pest or disease problems can spread quickly in a garden, so addressing them early often prevents them from turning into larger, harder to manage outbreaks. Next is skipping garden cleanup. Leaving behind diseased leaves, fallen fruits, or plant debris can allow pests and pathogens to survive and reappear in the next growing cycle. Next is overwatering. Excess moisture in the soil can stress plant roots and create conditions that encourage fungal diseases and root rot. And another is crowding plants. When plants are spaced too closely together, poor airflow and excess humidity around the leaves can increase the risk of pests and plant diseases. Physical control stops pests directly. Cultural control reduces pests pressure long term. Used together, they form the backbone of smart garden protection. You do not need fancy tools, just attention and consistency. Hands-on garden protection puts control back in your hands. Block pests when you can, grow plants the right way, act early, and keep it simple. In the next episode, we'll focus on biological control, your garden's built-in pest control team. If you know someone who could benefit from this series, feel free to share it with them. Gardening is always better when we learn from each other and when we grow healthier gardens together. Until next time, keep observing, keep experimenting, and keep learning along the way. This is Josh for Omaha Gardener in our series Garden Defense 101. And remember, if you grow it, you know it.